Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. Allison Holker, who is the wife of the late entertainer Stephen "tWitch" Boss, did an interview with People promoting her memoir This Far, and she revealed some things about tWitch that was very, very personal, and a lot of tWitch's fans and his close friends and family members were angered by this, and they started calling Allison out and exposing her. Now, before I get into all of that, I want to give a background. Stephen "tWitch" Boss, who I'm just going to call Twitch in this video, was a beloved entertainer and he was beloved in the dance community. He and Allison actually met on the dance competition show So You Think You Could Dance. He later on became a judge on the show, and he was also a DJ and a co-executive producer for the Ellen DeGeneres show. And he and Allison were very popular on TikTok. They were known for their dancing content. So he was really loved, and everybody who talks about tWitch speaks nothing but good things about him. They speak so highly of him. He always made people happy. However, he suffered internally, and he had some really serious mental health issues, and it led him to actually taking his life. He actually passed away from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and it was very tragic, and it was also very shocking, especially for his wife Allison, because she said at the time she didn't notice any signs that something was wrong.
But for real, it's interesting because there were no signs at that moment for me. I didn't know.
I still feel like I'm like the rest of the world, where I'm still shocked. There's no one that saw this coming. No one. And that also breaks my heart too. But I feel so sad that he was so there and we weren't in the knowing. He wanted to be the strong one for everyone, and I think that was a little scary for him to think that he might need to ask for help. You know, people say a lot of like, what were the signs? And, you know, he was so much love and light. He really wanted to be everyone's Superman, and he said that a lot.
Now, Allison was with tWitch for 13 years. She was married to him for 9 years. And throughout that marriage, she didn't see anything wrong. She didn't notice anything. However, after he passed away, she started really reflecting, and she claims that tWitch had an addiction problem.
I had dealt with an ex that had addiction problems, and then I realized Steven had addiction problems. And there was a moment I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. And it was a really triggering moment for me because there was a lot of things I discovered in our closet that I did not know existed. And it was very alarming to me to learn that there was so much happening that I had no clue.
Allison said that tWitch had a bunch of different drugs in his shoe boxes, including mushrooms, pills, and other substances. Also, she found his journal and read through it, and she revealed this in her memoir. She said that in his journal, he alluded to a male figure essaying him when he was a child. So, as you can imagine, this was very, very personal, and a lot of people are wondering why she felt the need to reveal this in her book. I understand her wanting to read through his journal and find out more about him, because obviously she was looking for answers on why he took his life. He left her and 3 of their kids behind, so that had to be painful. So I know she was investigating and trying to make sense of things. So I don't fault her for looking through his journal. I just think it was in very poor taste that she would reveal the contents of his journal. That's a complete violation, honestly. And if she really cared about his legacy like that, she wouldn't be using that to sell her book. That's just extremely yuck to me. And then to say that he had an addiction, well, listen, when they did the biopsy, they found no drugs or alcohol in his system. So did he really have an addiction, or is this what she's trying to present to sell a story? Like, it's just really, really messed up. It really is. And I do wonder what Allison's end goal is here. I get the feeling that she's in a new era where she's trying to detach herself from tWitch's brand.
It's also really important in my healing journey that people start to see me as me without him.
She says that constantly being tied to tWitch in the public eye triggers her, and she doesn't want to deal with those memories. But I think there's more to it than that. I think Allison doesn't want to be known as just tWitch's widow. She wants to reach the heights that he reached without being tied to his name. I mean, she wants fame. She already got a new man. She sold their family home. She dropped Twitch's last name, and she allegedly doesn't even allow her children to see Twitch's side of the family, which is crazy. So it's clear that she wants to detach in some way. And I understand this could be her way of coping as well. I mean, some people believe that detaching from somebody is their best way of moving on completely. However, I'm not going to make excuses for her because she's still using Twitch's name to get attention and get money. And she's doing all these interviews and she's writing a book revealing salacious details about Twitch. That is really unsettling, and a lot of Twitch's friends and family is not here for this at all because they don't feel like she's protecting his legacy. One of Twitch's cousins came on X and she came out swinging. She said, yeah, I don't give an F about an NDA. This crazy woman made me and his actual family, including mother, sign an NDA just to even attend the funeral. She's been trying to tarnish his legacy and refuses to let the Boss family see the children, only to exploit and lie on my cousin. Heck no. She won't let our family see the kids. He wasn't an addict. He smoked weed and was actively trying to quit. He wasn't some junkie. Courtney Ann Platt, who was a mutual friend of Twitch and Allison, called Allison out as well in a long post. She said, anyone who knows me knows I go straight to the source during a conflict and handle my business, but since there's clearly no shame in being so public, I haven't said a word in 2 years, but here I go. I was there the moment you both connected. I was there the day you got engaged. I stood by your side on your wedding day. I was in your home the day he died. I was by your side because your husband was my family. It didn't matter how often we spoke, how often we saw each other. We were bonded forever. This is by far the most tacky, classless, opportunistic act I've seen in my entire life. We all had to sign some weird NDA to attend his funeral. Even his own mother, who you treated like garbage this entire time. And let's just remember, you wouldn't have even had a husband if it wasn't for her. Not to share anything or ruin his name as if that was on anyone's mind in the first place. And here you go and write a book with all the dirty laundry smearing his name and attempting to dim the bright, loyal, loving light that was your husband, my friend. Whether any of this is true or not is actually besides the point. This is how you protect the boss name you so quickly dropped on your social media platforms 48 hours after he passed, his legacy. This is how you protect his children from any further humiliation, hurt, and despair. This is what you want them to remember about him. You have moved on. You're living your life. You're on every carpet you could get on, every celebrity role you could sit in, every magazine you could be in, and you needed to do this. Get a journal, a therapist, a friend, but publishing a book shamelessly sharing the pages of your husband's journal, People magazine, what a joke. Yes, he took his own life, which is a fact all of us still can't fathom, and he was clearly having mental health issues, hurting so deeply, and this is your example of empathy, of your love. This smear campaign for a buck is absolutely not what he would have ever wanted. No matter how bad he was hurting, not for a second. You're a living, breathing bulldozer. Stick to your own demons. Shame on you, Allison. Shame on your money-hungry team. Let my friend rest in peace, not your PR. Another close friend of Steven's named Comfort Fadoke called Allison out and said, lies and fairy tales. Steven said this to me in my dreams when he passed. Nothing is what it seems. Courtney Ann Platt, I'm right behind you. I'm done with this girl. You are an evil woman and completely disgusting. How dare you try to destroy my brother's name? Manny Cross, who was also a close friend of Steven, went in. He said, if you love Twitch, screenshot this and post it on your page, your story, everywhere. This ends today. Dear Allison, you have lied for the last time on my brother. He was absolutely no addict. You will say and do anything for $1. An addict? You are the one who was messing with the coke, Molly, and X. Ooh. Allegedly. I have all the proof. Play with somebody safe. Country boy right here. I don't give an F. Every person who knew him knows you're lying and have been doing dirty crap for a long time. Should I post our last conversation? Try me. You have no idea what I have to post. Here's a few questions I have for you though. Why did you make his mom sign an NDA to see her son's body? Why did his closest friends and family have to sign an NDA to attend his funeral? Why did you lie at the funeral about how every day was magical? It wasn't. He told me everything. Ooh, You had to try and demonize Nelson, and I see why. You demonize anyone in his life that found out the truth about you. You will say his friends aren't his friends. You will discredit anyone that knows the truth. You are a toxic woman. I truly believe he would still be alive had he not been married to you. My only regret is telling him to work on it with you for the sake of the kids when he talked to me about leaving you. I just didn't know the full truth. Just like everyone that supports you, we were both in the same situation, married to toxic narcissists that love black men as a fetish, that will lie and cry wolf and twist narratives and so-called evidence to be a victim and make $1. We didn't have our dads the way we wanted, so we persevered through the BS to be the best fathers we could. Today is the last day you do this. I was contacted by a TV show last year, and after sending their condolences about me losing Steven, guess what the producer said about you? The same thing all of them say about you. You're a money-hungry, lying narcissist that will play victim and will say and do anything for $1. Last question. Wasn't it your gun that was used? Ooh, that's some nasty tea he spilled. Now, what's interesting is one of Twitch's relatives, Dante Boss, reposted Manny's post and said, "Let the truth be told. Thank you, Manny Cross." Another one of Steven's close friends named J. Chris Moore said, "Due to the recent selfish acts of a certain horrible piece of trash human being who only wants to use my best friend's memory to benefit herself and her stupid books she's selling, I think I want to go live and share some real actual heartfelt memories of Steven and open it to anybody who wants to hop in and share. We will not let this self-centered troglodyte control the narrative and try to do anything other than shine light and love on his memory." And Twitch's brother Dre Rose actually reposted this. And a couple of years ago, he also aired out Allison and how she was treating their family. It's a long post, but I'll read some of what he said. "Over the past months, we observed a series of actions and attitudes that, in our perspective, do not foster an environment conducive to healing and unity. This refers to the treatment of our beloved mother and family, which has caused us great distress. Notably, it seems to stem from the fact that the family did not agree with the original terms of the NDA you presented the family to sign. It's deeply concerning to notice how my deceased brother's children have been drawn into the complexities of adult disputes, effectively being weaponized in the process. We have noticed a disturbing lack of communication and inclusion concerning the children's activities and well-being. It's disheartening that their interactions with their grandmother and the wider family have been noticeably limited. Our sincere intention is to nurture a loving environment for them in this challenging time. It's crucial to remember that they too are grieving and need a safe, neutral space to process their loss." He also said some other things as well. But as you could see, a lot of people who were close to Twitch had a lot to say about Allison, a lot of them. And there were more who came forth. But what his actual family members said about the whole situation is something to pay attention to, because they're really tired of Allison exploiting Twitch's name. Another one of Twitch's cousins named Zachary Boss came forth and also called Allison out as well.
You know, I just have to say something. You know, I feel like somebody from Steven's natural family should say something. And you know, the last time that I recorded, I pretty much was talking about the NDA, non-disclosure agreement, and how we were asked to sign it in order to see Steven or memorialize him at his funeral. And I'll be honest, you know, I'm not a celebrity. It was very difficult to navigate the whole concept of having to sign a piece of paper in order to see my cousin, whom I loved and valued. And so that was very difficult. But the entire time that we were asked to sign that NDA, the rhetoric was that we were doing so to protect his legacy. And as I stand today and I hear what's in the news and I see what's going on today, I refuse to believe that NDA, the reasons why we were asked to sign the NDA, had any merit, because there's nothing that happened today that was meant to protect his legacy. And you know, sadly, it's just a time where we're having to peel back the layers and see just a tidbit of what Stephen had to endure. And being that none of us, the family, for a person to be married to somebody that committed suicide, and then that person supposedly find a shoebox, disclose the contents of the shoebox with the entire world, then read that your loving husband's journal, private personal journal, and then share the contents of that with the world, it's very difficult to believe that you have any interest in protecting his legacy. And you have kids. You're always talking about how you're so concerned with how the family moves and the things that is being said on our personal pages. But you can go straight to the source and find out that you're delivering contents of shoeboxes. So let me ask the question, who stands to gain from this? Is it the world, or is it you? Because nobody benefits from you supposedly dropping dimes about your late husband. Honestly, that's the weirdest energy. It's weird. We all know that knew Stephen, that loved him. When he died, we all showed him honor. We've all showed him appreciation. We've given him tributes. We've given him posts. You can carry on the charade with the public world, but we know exactly who you are. We see you. We dialed you up. And at the end of the day, you can act like however you want to act. You can be as Hollywood as you want to be, but you still got to live with yourself. Do you like what you see in the mirror? A liar? A narcissist? For what? You leverage Stephen's death to elevate yourself. It's sad. It's sad, and I just know it needs to be said, and I don't know who's gonna say it. I don't know, but it's me. It's me. And Stephen was somebody. He was great. He was remarkable. He was talented. He was gifted. He was nurturing. He was respectful. He was mindful. And I know 100% that if the shoe was on the other foot, he wouldn't be revealing the contents of your shoebox with the world. And your journal would be intact with him, because he'd have respect and honor for who you were. Much better than I can say for you.
That was a respectful read right there. Very respectful, but still, he said what needed to be said. Anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.